Welcome everybody to a new Boca in English podcast. Here Facundo Zalazar with Rodrigo Azurmendi. Welcome back, Rodrigo. Welcome back to everybody. We are back after a few weeks. We apologize for going MIA, but we have stuff going on. How are you doing, Rodrigo?
I'm doing well, man. Yeah, just the schedules got crazy. Life got in the way a little bit, between vacations and families and everything else. Just like, it kind of happened with Gabby, but we wanted to make sure that we didn't go too long before talking about Boca, and obviously things are better with Boca since the last time we spoke. So that's always a good reason to reconvene and cover the last few games and the things that are working and the things that are not. But like in general, it's a good moment for Boca right now.
Yeah, sure. So with that being said, we can maybe revisit the last few games. So we missed 5 games. So we tied 1-1 against Racing. Then we broke the curse against Independiente Rivadavia that we won after 12 games. So we won 3-0 over there. Week 6, we beat Banfield 2-0 at home. Week 7, we beat Aldo Civi 2-0 away. And yesterday, we tied 1-1 against Rosario Central in Central. So with that, we moved from the 14th position 5 weeks ago to the 3rd position. So now Boca has 13 points behind Barracas and Union that has 15. So we have 3 wins, 4 ties, 1 loss, which is great because, again, we are qualifying to the playoffs because if you guys remember, the first 8 qualified to the next round. And like it or not, we're 2 points away from the first spot with almost 8 more games to play. So we're halfway of the season right now, 8 more games. Let's say that we get 13 more points. You're in. You're probably going to finish in 3rd or 1st or 2nd. So we take it. With that being said, also, we should talk about the annual table that qualifies teams to the Libertadores and Sudamericana. In that, we are in 2nd position. First is River with 49. Boca is 2nd with 46. And 3rd is Central with 46 as well, but they have 1 game in hand. So, yeah, what do you think about the last 5 games? What do you think that Boca is doing right? Because clearly we got, a lot of points, 11 points out of 15. We're back on track. We're there in the annual table, which is what we all want to qualify for the Libertadores once again. Happy times right now.
Yeah, I feel like things got back on track. Like I feel like we were playing Racing and at home, if I'm not mistaken, and we were losing, and that kind of felt like, because that was on the heels of like being eliminated from Copa Argentina and losing to Huracan. It was like we were like 11 games winless at that point, and if we would have lost at home to Racing, that would have been the end of Miguel Angel Russo as Boca coach, and it would have started this like situation where like, we probably go like a month with like an interim coach, with probably Mariano Ron, and then we have to scramble to like look for a coach. And there were some interesting options available, but like with this board, you never know who you're gonna bring, because it's never like the guy that you would expect. Like, you'd be like, oh, it's probably gonna be like Quinteros, it's like, oh, and now, it's gonna be someone else that no one can predict. So yeah, it would have been pretty messy, and it probably would have kind of caused Boca to waste more time and just kind of fall more behind in the year-long, annual table. But, we managed to tie that game, and I feel like that kind of like just caused a shift in the vibes. And then also like just, this is exactly where last year with Fernando Gago, that's when Gago, not last year, I'm sorry, last semester. That's when like Boca started winning, like where we won, I think like 8, something like 8 in a row or 7 in a row. And because it's kind of like the easy part of the schedule, right? You named it, it was like Independiente Rivadavia and Banfield, Aldo Civi. Obviously, Central is a tough one, but then I think then it's like Defensa y Justicia, Central Córdoba. Like it's kind of like the easy part, the soft part of the schedule where we are supposed to win these games. And like Gago did, Gago got eliminated from Libertadores with Alianza Lima, and then he rattled off like 8 wins in a row before the Super Clásico. So like this is the part that we needed to just take advantage, and things just kind of settled down a little bit. Russo like stayed on, despite I didn't want him to stay on, but he did, and like the team settled down, and he seems to have found a little bit of a formula that works. Again, against a soft schedule, but wins are wins, right?
Yeah, like it or not, like you said, he found a system. He stopped trying different weird things that it could happen in the beginning for any coach, but then he decided to stop playing Batalla in the back. So now Batalla is playing in the middle with Paredes. Paredes start playing a little more, soft five, what I would like to call, when he can wander around because he knows that Batalla is next to him. He still plays 2 number 9s with Merentiel Cavani, which is not ideal, but I feel like he's feeling that pressure that he has to play Cavani no matter what. Yesterday, Cavani played 90 minutes. He didn't do great. Merentiel didn't do great either. But besides that, the defenders are doing great. Lilolo stepped up. Lilolo, that was supposed to be like a sub, stepped up. Is playing great. Now Costa is back. Figal is out because of an injury. Barinaga, like it or not, he's a solid 6-point player where he just does what he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And he fights every ball like it's the last one. So that's what you like to see when a player hasn't have great skills. Like it or not, Marchesin has been doing all right. He said that he's been doing better. So like I said, we got the soft part of the schedule. We pulled through. Now we do have some games coming up that should be easier than the end of the season. The end of the season is probably like the heavy part. So now on Sunday we're gonna play Central Córdoba home, and then we go against Defensa y Justicia away. That could be a tough one. And after that we go against Newell's at home. So I looked at the schedule yesterday. Out of the last 8 games, we play 5 at home and 3 away. So let's say that you win 5 at home and you lose 3 away. That's 15 points. So you're going to end up the tournament with 28. That's a solid number to qualify for the playoffs. So we should be able to qualify. That should be no doubt about it. And then if you get 15 points and you lose 3, you should be able to finish in the top 3 in the annual table, because our Argentina league is so weird that any team can beat any team. Like tomorrow, Aldo Civi could be Union, and Union is the first, Aldo Civi is the last. It could happen. We need to win every single game at home. 5 games at home, we need to win them. And if we do that, we should be okay. So what I asked about Russo is like, keep doing what you're doing. Don't make any silly changes because somebody's asking you to change the formation. Like, play the players are playing right now. It seems like they're connecting a little bit better. We should get there by the end of the season. We should have a nice rhythm to get to the playoffs. And Boca's doing better. They're playing better. Paredes took over the whole team, which is what we wanted. Reports say that Paredes is actually asking a few demands in the training that should be better for the team. So that's good. Also, I feel like the players around him are playing a little bit better because, we were scared of Paredes dropping his level, but he's actually raising everybody's bar, which is better. We're still missing a little more goals. I think that our number 9s could do a little bit better. They are credentials for them, and they're not actually providing anything. They're very frustrated on that point. But besides that, I think that Boca is doing better. I think that Boca deserves to be where it's at. I don't want to get too confident because anything can happen. And I think that we should take it 1 game at a time, which I think that's what they're doing, and take it from there.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think because I remember last semester and I remember this soft part of the schedule, I wanted to see how the team would play against a better team like Rosario Central and the way they did yesterday on Sunday. So I was like, okay, we won 3 games that we should have won, which we don't always win, but we won them, which is good. But then it's like, okay, how are we gonna perform when we measure up against one of the better teams, at least like roster wise. I think Central, like, they win a lot of points, they win a lot of matches without playing great, but they're tough and they were playing at home. They have a good coach. They have, Angel Di Maria, who's like kind of doing the same for them that Paredes is doing for Boca. So, I wanted to see how we would do, and I was like very, I'm always very, very harsh and critical of Boca. And at the end of the game, I was like, okay, this is good. I was satisfied. I wasn't like happy, and I think that, we had chances we probably had a few more chances to win it than them. If there had to be a winner, it probably should have been us. But I think that Boca played well. And I think not just that, but also like I think I liked the confirmation of a lot of players that have raised their level over the last month and a half, and they kept it up, because it was like right before this game it was like a 2 week like stoppage because of like national team. So I was like, so what's gonna happen now? It's like these guys were playing okay, what's going to happen after 2 weeks? Did they relax or something? And no, I think, like Barinaga, he replaced, Luis Advíncula in the starting 11 at right back. And he's been playing well, honestly. I think he's getting better. Like, he's just like, you can see him get, a little more confident on the ball. He's obviously like very physical. He's very fast. He's very strong. He's not very good with the ball, but he's, making better decisions, both just kind of like cutting and also just kind of like, deciding when to shoot, when to cross, and things like that. I think like Brian Aguirre, he's playing out of position, but like we just don't have a natural player in that position. And he's kind of seems to be the one that stepped up, and he's doing his job okay. He gave the assist yesterday for Bataglia in the first goal, and I think he's generally played well. Rodrigo Bataglia, he's back in the midfield, and he's has a great partnership with Paredes. I'm very partial to like a guy like Milton Delgado because he's from the academy, and I think he deserved to play a little more, and he was left off the bench yesterday. But Bataglia's been playing well, and not playing well, he's actually been scoring goals. So it's like nothing to complain on my end. He's like he's playing very well. And then like you mentioned earlier, I think the center backs have been very strong, and not just Di Lollo. Like you have, he's been playing now with Ayrton Costa because Pellegrino got injured, but before then, Pellegrino was playing very well. So and then you also mentioned Marchesin, who's also been kind of stepping up. So like it's just a lot of players that we were like, come on, guys, you cannot be playing like shit at the same time. Now they're all just kind of playing better at the same time too. So it's a lot of positive development. So I don't know if you disagree with any of those, and if not, we can talk about like the Cavani and Merentiel
No,
situation.
one of the things that I realized yesterday that changed a little bit from the last year, let's say, is that we came back from the international break. Boca played away. Usually, what we've seen from Boca was we're going away, the other team steps up, controls the whole game, and Boca is there just to show up. It's like if we can tie 0-0, great, or if we lose, that's what we get. Yesterday, Boca, the first half was very intense. Rosario Central
It was great. It was fun.
they played like it was a final. And the way I saw it, Boca played like it was a final as well. They were like, all right, you're here to play it and to be tough. We're going to be as tough as you. So I think that changed a lot. Like Boca was there. Boca came out, scored a goal. Unfortunately, they tied right away, but I didn't feel like they were going to beat us, after the score.
Yeah.
In the past, we had situations where Boca was away, they would tie us, and then we're like, all right, here comes nothing. Where that team was just, push us into our goal and score and beat us. But yesterday, Boca stayed on the game, keep fighting. The second half, it was not as intense as the first one, but I do think that Boca had, better chances, better opportunities. Rosario Central kind of like did nothing in the second half.
Yeah.
So that's why we say that they won their point and we lost 2 points, right? With that being said, again, it's not great that we didn't win, but the attitude was there. In a tough stadium, it is a tough team that that most of the times when they have a player like Di Maria, anything can happen, any foul could be decisive. So I like the attitude for the players. It seems like now the away game stigma is kind of done. Like they're gonna come out and play away in any team, any stadium, and actually try to perform. So with that, if that attitude keeps happening, you're gonna win more games than tie or lose. So I'd take that. Individually, I think that some players are still not performing the way that they're supposed to perform. We chatted on the group. I feel like Palacios, for me, he didn't show up at all yesterday, which is fine.
Yeah.
Again, but you can have a bad game. Like, for example, Blanco didn't have a great game, and it's fine. It's just like when that shit is not there, if the stuff is not there, just do like Varinaga. Like, try to be tough or show your presence or help. Palacios being subbed out and he having an attitude is not helpful because he deserved to be subbed out.
Yeah.
I didn't say that. I didn't realize he was playing until he was subbed out because even the commentators didn't name him once.
He should have been gone at halftime.
Yeah. But again, it happened. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt because it was a tough game. And, in some games, some players step up, others don't. But the thing that I like is, like, that you have Velasco, Alarcon, which they came in, but they didn't do much. They didn't come in with a fantastic attitude.
Yeah.
But that those players can come in and replace Palacios, replace Aguirre, and maybe something could come out of them, right? Same with Milton. Milton Jimenez, sometimes he comes in and he scores a goal with 5 minutes left and we all celebrate him. So I would have liked to see another forward before, at the same time that Alarcon and Velasco came in. Yeah, Velasco came in. I think that maybe I would have taken out Cavani and put like a Changuito to play. Yeah, so I would have done that. But again, with that being said, I still think that Boca's were supposed to be. We got better. We're winning. I'm happy. My week's a little bit better now.
Yeah.
It's been 4 or 5 weeks where I'm not angry at the sport. So yeah, we're getting there. We will get there. We play a few teams that are very good teams. But if you think about it, again, we got Defensa should be tough. Newell's should be tough, but we play at home. Barracas should be a great game because they are doing better. And then you play at home against Belgrano, against River, and away against Estudiante and Tigre.
Yeah.
Estudiantes and Tigre, we can beat them away. Barracas, we can beat them away. Defensa, it's always tough. But 6 months ago, we scored 4 on them. So
yeah,
we should be able to pull a lot of points in at least 18 points in the last 24.
Yeah, no, I think so. And you were doing the math earlier, and you said that if we got another 15 points, that'll get us to 28. That was good enough for 3rd place in last semester. So and then and then Boca was 1st with 33. So it's not far from where we were last semester. I think we can definitely get like 18, like you said. So I think we're gonna get the points. I think how we get them will matter, and not so much the way we play, even though I do worry about the way we play, but like who we beat. Obviously, like, we have to win the Super Clásico. We talk about that all the time, especially playing at home, and also because it's like a direct rival in the year-long table. So if we beat them, there's a good chance that will probably seal our qualification for Copa Libertadores. So I think that's a big game, but that's like a month from now. So like just we can't look too far ahead. There's gonna be a lot on the horizon. They have to play Copa Libertadores. They have to play Copa Argentina. Like, just a million things can happen between now and then. So that's not something we focus on. But for Boca, I do think that even though we are playing better, and I just think that we're leaving money on the table, like every game. And the way I see it is that, yes, the way we're playing now is kind of working, but I think it could work better with like very small tweaks, and either like, I don't mind the starting 11 the way it's playing right now. I mean, I don't like it, but like I don't mind it as long as you have a quicker hook when it's not working, right? Like, so if Palacios, I think there's some players deserve the benefit of the doubt, and some players don't. Like, and I would put Palacios and Cavani, and obviously Cavani is getting all the benefit of the doubt, and he's like never, and I don't like that. But like guys like Palacios, if he's playing well, sure, play him 70, 75 minutes, right? Or the whole 90 if needed. But if he's not, he doesn't have this thing where like he turns it around. If he's playing bad, he'll just end up playing bad the whole game. So like pull him quicker, just bring in Alarcón for like a different look like he's been doing, or like just bring in Velasco, or like I would like, Kevin Zenon to get back in the rotation now that the transfer window is over and like the transfer drama is over. He needs to be back in the rotation because like I think he can be part of the solution. Is he gonna be a star? I don't know, but I would like him to play next to Paredes because he's a good player, and I think that he could help the team either as a starter or as just a change of pace, player in the second half. I think that Velasco needs to get more than like 10 minutes. And I didn't like his 10 minutes yesterday, but he should be getting more than 10 minutes. So like if someone is not performing, then Velasco needs to come in sooner, and I think he can do something. And then like for someone like Cavani, if he's not playing well, he needs to go out because he just hasn't been playing well at all, like most of the games. So like, if he's playing well, by all means, to just keep him on the pitch, but like if he's not, then pull him and we'll just play him next week. Like I'm not even honestly like I would personally remove him from the starting 11, but I know that's not realistic. All I ask is that if he's not playing well, just have a quicker hook, man. 60 minutes tops. If he's not playing well, you go out, and then we can play someone faster, or maybe like, maybe we can bring in, Milton Jimenez, who's, like you said, has scored some like clutch goals. We have, I think for the first time in probably like a few months, we have options off the bench, right? We have Velasco and Alarcón and Changuito Ceballos and Zenon and guys like that. Jimenez, everyone's mostly healthy right now. So like, let's just like use those players. And if it's not one guy's day, it might be some other guy's day. Let's just not keep kind of bashing our heads against the wall with the same thing when it's not working. That's all I'm asking for. And just to wrap up my idea, this is my issue with Miguel Angel Russo. I don't think he's present enough. I know he was sick. He was out for like 2 weeks. He's old. He's had like, I understand all that stuff. He's given the club a lot, and he's a very important figure in Argentinian football and all that stuff. And I want him to do well and whatever. But like if this is Boca, like if he can't do the job, he needs to go home, be with his family, like and I wish him well. But we need a 24/7 coach, and like his assistant Claudio Ubida, he absolutely sucks. He's a fucking like bona fide loser. He always has been, always will be. So, and I don't want that guy picking the starting 11. I don't want that guy suggesting the substitutions like fucking 35 minutes into the second half when like we've known that this doesn't work. So like I want like more. I want just quicker thinking. I don't want like a guy's like pacing the sideline, just kind of like, Bielsa style, just like showing off for the cameras. I don't need that. Like Russo can just be sitting on the bench. But like I need to see that someone's in control, that someone's watching the game, thinking the game. Okay, so this is not working. Let's do something else. Just like quicker substitutions. I need to see more. Like the players are giving more finally. Well, I need to see a little more from the bench too. So and not just and like just the last thing, and not just like in the starting 11, but like who we pick for the bench, and then how quickly we put them in and who comes in.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes we go back and we think, imagine Boca had a good coach, like a very good top of the line coach. With these players, you should be able to win every single game with not that. Like
Absolutely.
I'm not asking for an Ancelotti. Like in Brazil, like a solid coach that you can rely on, and that he's hardworking, and that he's looking into the data, he's looking into our team's players, and realizing, all right, if the Maria is going to play this way, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. We love Russo, but again, the fact that he's, like or not, spending some time in the hospital, he's not 100% in training. Makes you think about if it's the coach that you want to have for the future, for the near future, for the Libertadores, or for the Copa Argentina, or for whatever tournament it is. No one likes that. He was always an anti-Boca player. He always spoke ill of Boca. So that's why we don't like him. It's not like because we're just like being little pricks. Yeah. We're just like him because of that. Just he doesn't represent us. And again, it comes back to the thing that we have a good roster. So imagine we had a good coach that can actually put it together. right?
Yeah.
Doesn't feel the pressure that Cavani has to play 90 minutes or he's going to get mad. Like you guys said in the group chat yesterday, like Cavani was never a leader. He never was the leader of any team throughout his career.
Yeah.
So now we have this character that's trying to act as leader, and it doesn't look good. Cavani being mad or yelling at the ref in his face and getting a yellow card for no reason. It's not a good look. It looks somebody that is frustrated, that's not scoring, that has to prove his value over and over every Sunday. Kind of sucks, right? Like Paredes plays free because he doesn't have to prove himself. Like he knows like he's a good player and he's gonna perform. So that's where we're at. Luckily, it's been 5 games, 3 wins and 2 ties. We're back where we're supposed to be. Now the other thing that we need to do is like go out on Sunday, win another game, get 3 more points, keep putting pressure to the teams, keep showing the other teams that Boca is back, that Paredes is going to continue performing. Hopefully Bray can step it up a little bit. I'm not going to say that we tied because of him. He could have done a little better in the goal.
Yeah.
But it happens, right? He's still young. He's still going to be one of the best goalkeepers in the future, I think. He just needs a little more confident. So I'm not going to criticize him much, right? With that being said, again, we have 8 games until the end of the season, and then we're going to playoffs. If we're qualified, hopefully we can get 18 points in the last 24, get that Copa Libertadores spot, go to the playoffs knowing that you don't depend on anybody, don't depend on winning the tournament, because like or not, the playoffs should be easier for the bigger teams. But then you tie 0-0, you go to PKs, anything can happen there.
Yeah.
So I think that they're gonna have extra times this tournament. So it's gonna be 30 more minutes if you tie. But still, I don't think that Boca should depend on that for qualifying the Libertadores. I do think we're gonna make a nice run. I see us getting to at least the semifinals of this tournament. And after that, anything can happen, obviously. But with that being said, I don't have anything else to chat about, Rodri. Anything you want to talk about?
No, I do want to point out that like we probably the best 2 other teams in our group are Argentinos and Racing, and for whatever reason they're both having a really bad like semester at the domestic level, and like both of them, I think at least one of them is not going to make the playoffs, and probably neither will make the playoffs. And also like all the teams just kind of like higher up in the table, they're like the Banfields and Barracas. So we might not even need 33 points like last semester to finish first. And, just imagine a situation where we finish first. That means that we play at home round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinals. And we know that obviously like the teams start getting crossed, right? But like if we know that Argentinos and Racing are not going to be in the playoffs, that leaves a pretty attractive field for Boca to be able to advance. Obviously, it looks like River will probably win the other zone, so that means that we probably wouldn't play them until like a hypothetical final. So, like things are like going well for Boca, even in the year-long table. Argentinos kind of fell back, so now we are like we're very comfortably in the top 3. We know that the 3rd spot doesn't send you directly to Copa Libertadores. It sends you to like phase 2, which is the one that we played and lost to Alianza Lima. But like I think that just knowing in the top 3, knowing that we have some sort of Copa Libertadores secured, it's like I think we'll relax the players a little bit down the stretch, and it'll allow them to play better.
Right. If you think about it, so I said that Boca has 5 home games and 3 away. So again, let's assume that we win 5 at home and we lose 3 away. That's 15 points. Argentino has to win all 8 games to actually have a chance to beat us in the annual table.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, what are the chances of Argentinos, which is not doing great, to win 8 games in a row?
Yeah.
So if you do what we say our homework, Boca should be at least into the pre-Copa Libertadores.
Yeah.
We don't want that because we know what happened with Alianza Lima, but we should be inside that top 3.
Yeah, and then what can happen is like if you finish in that 3rd spot, that means that like if like let's say River wins the tournament, that gets us in. If Racing, well, Racing might not make it, but like
Central.
if Central wins it, that gets us in. If either Racing or River win Copa Argentina, I think that also like gets us in. So like just that gives us so many paths to just getting in directly. Obviously, we want to control our destiny, right? We want to finish in the top two, just go into the playoffs, being like, okay, work's done, you know, and now let's go kick everyone's ass and actually like win the title, you know. But just you know, and it's just gonna be tough because River is a tough team, but also like they're gonna be playing a lot of games. They have like 2 Copa Libertadores games. They have like Copa Argentina. You know, they're gonna be busy. Central is kind of in the same, you know, position, you know, as us. So we know, but between the 3 of us, we gotta be able to beat at least one of them and just finish top 2 and just get it done. And then like just basically we start looking to 2026, which is what we all want to.
100%. All right. With that being said, we're gonna try to do more podcasts. Obviously, now that you know Rodri is back, I had a kid. You know, 2 weeks ago.
Congratulations, I mean, I didn't want to say it. I wanted you to break the news. So congratulations to you and your wife and little Luca.
And little Luca, yeah, another Boca fan into the world.
Yeah.
But that's why we've been a little bit busy. Obviously, my times are weird because I'm not sleeping at night, but I'm sleeping during the day because I'm not working right now. So yeah, we're gonna try to do more podcasts maybe next week and the week after and all that, so you guys can keep listening to us. So we appreciate the patience. Hopefully we keep winning and we take it from there. So with that being said, I got nothing else, Rodri. So if you want to close it out, it's all yours.
No, that's it. Just thank you for everyone for the patience, and yeah, we'll just try to do a few more of these, and hopefully we can finish out the year strong. So congratulations again, Facu, and we'll see everyone soon. Bye, guys.